start preparing, thinking about the presentation of the day, I was puzzled what should be the main message that I would like to deliver. Of course, I have to mention about Greece and the developments in Greece, but at the same time, I want to deliver my point of view on the topic of AI, of artificial intelligence, and how I think artificial intelligence influences the developments that we are doing in our data space world. So these are the main motivations behind this presentation. So it's shaping trusted data spaces in Greece and how this will help in digital transformation. And the main message I want to deliver is not trusted data, not trustworthy AI. This is the sub-message that will follow throughout the presentation. Now, what is the need? Of course, this discussion goes back several years. We know data are available in what we call data silos in different companies with barriers around the data. So we want, of course, to be able to share the data and make value out of it. This is one main need that at the very beginning influenced the developments around the data spaces. Of course, we have Europe, and Europe we want to have so-called digital sovereignty. So we need to have our own infrastructure managed by European entities and with the rules that we want to have. And all this discussion, of course, has led to the developments of the data space. Gaia-X is, of course, one of the key players in this discussion. And there are other data spaces as well. IMXC, we will hear later on a presentation, I think, from Klaus. Katina-X, I mean, there are several ones. And what we have achieved is that through this technology, we can move from data silos and isolated information communities to more network and collaborative ones using the technology, using the connectors, using the clearing houses, and all these new developments. And then what is the additional need that we see? At least I see, and I think it's important to highlight. We have taken, for example, Greece. We have those communities, those branches of the economy or branches of our society. We have ports, energy, tourism, different actors, manufacturing, different actors. And all of them have data, and of course now the opportunity is to utilize AI to really make value out of this data. So AI is hungry for this type of data, for this kind of data, but the data should be worth it, because as we say in the AI world, garbage in, garbage out. So we need to make sure that the data are really is what we are looking for. And then this creates this need for this trust layer. That we have the identity, we have the origin, the provenance, we have the policy, we have the quality. So we need to create this framework to make sure that what we are using really makes sense and creates value. And this is another opportunity for what we are developing. Okay, so it may have started from the early days from enable collaboration, but now it's evolving even further. And through that we can have all these benefits, control, use, auditability on who is doing what and who has some accountability for that, or auditability, what has happened, federation, and all these properties. So data space really add benefit, add value where trust matters. So trust matters, and we have data spaces that are key enablers. So this is another viewing of the whole topic. It's beyond mere collaboration, mere data exchange, but it's about trust in this network. So in Greece, Of course, we are following these developments. We have set up for several years now the Gaia-X Hub Greece, which coordinating or managing the developments around this technology. There are several pilot implementations in different sectors. Here we have a list that in most of them you will find some relevant activity in the Greek ecosystem. My colleague Manos later on will talk a little bit more about the manufacturing field. But our aim for the next years, the years to come, is to try also these individual islands, if I could call it like that, to connect them in a larger archipelago, in a larger sea that connects all this together, try to make value also from connecting the individual domains. For that, an important activity that takes place the last 1 year or so, and has been also mentioned by Eleni from the Information Society, is the SME Accelerator project that helps us to create this value, to create this ecosystem by bringing companies and actors from the different ecosystems, different sectors that I'm presenting in this slide. So, message is that there are activities, of course, support. We need more support from the government, from the digital strategy of national digital strategy, but we think we have the critical mass to proceed with that, with the right people on the table. Now, we are quite lucky, I believe, that, and all of us are lucky, that in this journey to implement those data spaces, we have a new alliance, a new supporter. For me, this is how I see it. It's AI. AI can help all the life cycle, all the implementation life cycle in what we are doing. So we all know the typical life cycle, starting from the need, design, develop, and deployment and operate. And we see opportunities there for exploiting AI on that. So AI, for me, is at the same time a user of what we are doing, but is also a co-developer, a co-builder to what we are, how we are doing that. And we need to exploit on that. My let's say, motivation or inspiration for looking into this perspective is because today, of course, we have the hackathon. Hackathon is mostly about development, but it's not only that, and we all know this new trend on vibe coding and how AI can help this part. But it's more than that. It's the whole life cycle that can be supported by AI. And I think this is one of the key messages I would like to deliver with my presentation today. So AI is not kind of an enemy. It does not make data space obsolete. It makes them even more necessary, and it's there to assist the developments. So looking on the life cycle of data space development, we can utilize this technology for generating requirements, generating the needs, building up the decision-making canvas. So having here as a mock-up example from ports, and whether it makes sense to share data with energy providers. So we can start these discussions with the help of AI. Of course, it's still human in the loop. It's human that takes the decisions. But through this kind of collaboration, we can have even more information regarding the different points that are important for us, like the data products that we need for building up this kind of a data space, the controls that we need to have in place, the stakeholders, which are the stakeholders to be involved, which is the value proposition. So it's a tool to help us set up and build up the needs. So it's a starting point to start from the stakeholder interest into a running and a living data space. Then it's we go beyond the need and we start designing. And of course, here there are more experts than me on this topic, on the semantics, on the policies, credentials, and all these individual components that are necessary to build up those data spaces. And for all these components, there is room and there is the opportunity to get help also from those tools. To turn human thinking, human knowledge into machine interpretable data. And this could even speed up the implementation even further. I'm not sure if in the hackathon of those days, these days, I mean today and tomorrow, this kind of things are there. I mean the collaboration and the use of AI in the whole life cycle of the development. But my personal perspective is that it should be there, and this could speed up all the development if done properly. So making trust explicit, I mean from human knowledge, making explicit to machine readable and data that can be consumed and be really useful and used during in the operation of those data spaces. Then next comes the development part. Of course, we all know the term vibe coding. It's quite popular those days. It seems to be that the developer community has embraced this technology, and this goes, of course, I believe, also for the data space developers community. And this is there to stay. So we need to consider that. But it's not only coding. I will not call it only coding. It's also about trust in the development. So we need guardrails. We need checkpoints, and this is another skill that we need to develop. We are not used to do development in this type in this way of thinking. We need to adapt on that, and I would like to see that also in our community, how we adapt in code development by adding guardrails, and what does it mean in data space development, in data space building, this necessity. But I think that this is a way to see future development in our field. Now, going back again to our local or Greece development, having thought and having mentioning the need, and also having mentioning the need and for the data space and this technology, what we have done, and we are setting up and we already offering to our partners, to our network partners, is what the so-called sandbox, data space sandbox. It's their technology infrastructure that we offer to our partners and allow them to work and play with these technologies, share data using the sandbox data to see how that works, customize their data and make them available to be shared through this sandbox. So it's what we are named as test before invest. So provide the opportunity to test something before you really apply and go for it. So we have developed these two sandboxes. One is it's a kind of a mix, to be honest, in actual implementation. One is we are using the Gaia-X components, and we are also using IDS, the National Data Space Infrastructure components in our sandbox. That has been supported by our affiliated organization, the Teaching Factory Competence Center, that has set up this infrastructure, and it's there for everybody to utilize. Now, I had to mention a few projects, also for typical dissemination purposes, that we were working upon and really help bring all this into real practice. Some projects that matter for us. First one is DS for Skills, Data Space for Skills is a European project, Digital Europe program funded project. The aim there is to build a data space infrastructure for selling, for supporting the skills community. So we have we have people, individuals who want to develop their skills. We have companies who are looking for individuals. We have training program providers. We want to bring all this together. It's a European project. Our job in there is to provide skills training courses via this infrastructure, right? Which is, again, utilizing the main principles of data space technology. So that DS for Skills is one of our key projects that we are working upon. Second project is Circ Plus Techs. This one is focusing on the industry, especially plastics industry, manufacturing industry. This also goes because of our involvement in LMS, Laboratory for Manufacturing Systems, so we have a special focus on tasks and developments around manufacturing. So Circ Plus Tech is to facilitate the exchange of information, confidential information, high sensitive information via the data space, and our role there is more technical to provide the necessary components, the semantics, the guardrails for building up this technology. And third one is AI Matters, which is a project that is there to offer AI services to the manufacturing industry, and in there we are one of the services we are offering is this data space access for getting data and provide those data to AI. This is a third activity related to what we are doing here. So think of us as, of course, it's LMS. We are coordinating of course, Gaia-X Hub member. We are coordinating the Hub Greece. We are also linked to the IDS ecosystem as well. And we are members of the IMXC, of the International Manufacturing X ecosystem. Very proud to be also a member on this one. So, then just as a closing remark, the next competitive advantage is not having data, but being able to share it safely and use it with confidence. Thank you for your time.